Today, we are joined by a woman who didn't just watch reality TV, she helped shape it from behind the scenes for over 15 years. She is a post production producer who's worked across some of the biggest shows on our screens, such as Married at First Sight, which you will all know, MasterChef Australia, Hunted, The Project, Neighbours, Home and Away, Sunrise, and Dancing with the Stars. So if you've ever yelled at your TV, she knows exactly why. You've definitely seen her all over your TikTok, breaking down those what did I just watch moments on maths and giving us the context we didn't know we needed. She also hosts That's Showbiz Baby with Geordie Lucas, former Neighbours actress, where they spill the behind the scenes tea we love to hear. And now she's gone one step further, launching her Substack Confessions of an Ex-Maths Producer, which honestly feels like the insider guide we've all been waiting for. So today we're getting into it. How real is reality TV? Are some of the cast set up to fail from the start? And what really goes on into creating the chaos we cannot stop watching? So let's get into it. Please welcome Alex Fennell.
Oh, thank you. That's a great intro. Thank you.
You're welcome. Before we get into the deep stuff, we feel like we need to get to know you a little bit better. So we want to take you speed dating.
Okay, yep.
Hey, so what's the best way to sneak alcohol into a concert?
Yeah.
In a loaf of bread.
That is genius, by the way. Genius.
Yeah, it worked and it was great, obviously. And I didn't think it would go as viral as it did. And then before I knew it, I was getting calls from the British tabloid press. I was like, I feel like there's other things you could be doing, but okay.
Have you ever hooked up with a famous person?
No,
No,
I
not
wish.
telling any stories there.
No, I was just going to say, like, I have no game in that capacity. I don't know. I get quite nervous around them in real life. This isn't me saying I wouldn't. I've had crushes, heaps of on famous people I've worked with, and there has been mutual vibes, but I've just not been able to seal the deal.
Oh,
You need
Yeah.
a wingwoman. We're
Yeah.
really good wingwomen.
we're pretty good. We're pretty
We're
good.
very good.
Yeah.
We're
One
one
day.
we're one from one.
What's the worst thing you accidentally say to a global superstar when you work in TV?
Is this something I've actually done?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm not going to tell you the answer.
I don't remember.
Have you said, anything to anybody?
So many things. I've said so many embarrassing things.
Because
Lizzo thing?
Yes.
Oh, no. See, that's why because I didn't say anything bad to her. That's why I didn't clock.
What's the story then?
I met her at the project and I was taking a photo of her and she just gave me the worst attitude. She was really impatient. She had a really awful, awful vibe and she was really rude to me and getting really impatient because the camera was all clunky and not showing the photo. And then it just kind of all escalated and she was just narky as hell. And then I did a TikTok about it and she clapped back at me and was like, so I was apparently rude, blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember this person. And so then we had beef. And then like, because then I did all these exclusive interviews like with Pedestrian and stuff. And then 2 weeks later, she released this diss track and it was like, she doing interviews about me. I don't even know her.
She doing interviews about me. I don't even know her.
Oh,
That's what I heard. And I'm like,
that's amazing.
But like, it's up for debate whether it's actually about me. But I believe
Claim it.
I believe it is because nobody else in the previous 12 to 18 months had done any interviews about Lizzo. Nobody was speaking publicly about her. She saw the TikTok that I dissed her and responded. And then that, of course, gave me more ammo, and Pedestrian Daily Mail, I think, covered it too. And so I was then doing interviews about Lizzo. And Lizzo's whole thing was, I don't even remember it. It doesn't sound like me. And I was like, well, bitch, I remember it because for you, it was nothing. For me, it was meeting a global.
The lawsuits say different.
yeah.
Exactly. So then, yeah, I claim that line is about me.
We outside, ho! We outside! We outside, ho! We outside, ho!
We outside, ho! They're gonna bash me. Lizzo's gonna bash me.
Oh my
dear,
God.
ruffling feathers there.
She'll send in her backup dancers.
What job gave you the absolute best celebrity gossip, but the least ability to tell it?
All the jobs, there's been lots of goss. Mainly the project and Sunrise because you're exposed to more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People think I spill tea. I do not even scratch the surface of the shit.
That's one.
What's the fastest way to annoy a TV crew?
Walk in front of the camera or just like interrupt their shot with your phone or flash photography in a studio is a real no-no. Having your phone not on silent or even just vibrate. Oh God, they
Does it
hate
pick
that.
up the vibrating as well?
Yeah. If it's like on the floor or on a surface, it can, yeah. But getting in the back of a shot. So at Neighbours, they had this thing where if you ever got in the back of a shot, you had to buy the crew a slab. And that was just like a regular thing because it's just a really, it's easier than you think to get in the back of a shot.
Yeah. I'm really bad at buying beer for people. In Queensland, they all like Forex Gold. And so I got asked to go and buy a slab of Forex Gold for someone. And I bought Powers Gold, which apparently tastes like cat piss.
Oh,
So if you just did that, they would never ask you to buy a slab ever again.
They just ask you for the money. They'd be like, 50 bucks.
That's so funny. I think I bought one.
You're doing well.
Yeah.
So how did you get your start in reality TV?
I had a background in TV already, and Endemol Shine was recruiting for TV professionals.
Endemol Shine.
Yeah, Endemol Steal Your Shine. That's what
I haven't heard that one.
I used to call it that at work. I'd be like, Endemol Steal Your Shine or Endemol Dull Your Shine.
Yes.
They take the brightest sparks and burn them out. Was the motto I used to joke about. So I was working at the project and they were looking to basically get TV professionals and cross-skill them. So I was approached via that stream because I already had a background in TV. I was sort of known to have creativity and being good at storytelling. So I was the kind of person they wanted to train into their very, very specific art and formula of post-producing.
What's been your favorite one to work on? Because you've worked on quite a few.
Oh, nothing will ever top Neighbours. I think that's because I was so young and excited and everything was new and exciting. The adrenaline every day and the excitement of being on set at Neighbours and all the possibility and potential that came with Neighbours. I was thinking about that today. I was like, what was the thing that made me feel the most satisfied? Probably Neighbours, but if I was to work on Neighbours in my later career, the shine would have well and truly worn off. But Neighbours at the time was really, really fun. And then probably The Project. That was a very fun show to work on. They're probably my two favorites.
And you were on MasterChef as well?
Post-producing, yeah.
Yeah. There's a massive kick up now because Meghan Markle apparently is going to be on one. What do you think? What's the big deal?
I think that it's just Channel 10 trying to get views. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it makes sense. They always have guest judges from overseas and she has her own cooking show. It's quite aligned, I reckon. I think she is kind of a MasterChef type because with MasterChef, it's kind of like Disney. So it's always clean cut. It's the most pure reality show.
Family.
Yeah, we could do MasterChef After Dark and it would be a different story. Because it's not as Disney as what it appears.
I love that.
But we're always reminded, hang on, it's the family show, it's Disney.
Yeah.
You can't have someone chucking a tantrum.
Yeah. So within reality TV realm and working behind the scenes, what then drew you to post-production?
I have always been really into editing. In TV, there's usually split between production, on set, and post-production. So production is preparing everything, organizing everything, and prepping in advance. Production is on set, interviewing with the camera persons, sound person, and more on set, but they're very, very long days. It's almost like being a tradie because you're out there in the elements.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going to be. And then post is just doing stuff with the footage. So I've always been a post girl. Me and my computer.
Yeah.
I love the computer. I love editing. I love working with footage. Even as a digital and social strategist, it's always been in post-production. So that's probably my biggest draw card. I can do on-set story producing and interviews and stuff, but it drains me. It doesn't energize me. So I also just like going and sitting in a chair in an office rather than chasing people around and interrupting people and talking to people.
I reckon Beck, when she was giving Gia the instructions on what to do.
Know what you need to do.
Out victim him. What am I saying?
I love you. I'm sorry.
Look, I thought we had a family unit.
I'm looking at this like strategically. It's not just about the life, it's about the Australia.
Hey, you know what?
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
And if you can cry, that would be great.
Oh, of course I will.
She was saying cry if you can and do it. Do you think Beck's trying to get into
Because she's lost her job now. She's trying to
I
get into
reckon.
production.
Yeah, I reckon she's like, oh, I'm going to try and get a job here.
She wants to be talent though.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be
She wants to be in front of the screen, not behind the screen.
she doesn't want to be a producer. She's too self-centered. She wants to be the star.
Mm.
Yeah,
She doesn't want to be like encouraging other people's stars to flourish. Anyone on maths doesn't want to be behind the scenes. They want to be
in front of the camera. That's why they're there.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of burnout for you then? Because they must be big days.
Really
given
big
the
days.
footage that you have to go through. And is the footage over one day or multiple days?
It really depends on the show. The way the footage is set out is it's not really just days, it's more like challenges. Like, for example, say I was doing a dinner party, my project would be broken up into folders of footage, and it would be like the actual dinner party would be one folder, but then within that folder it would be all the different camera angles, right? And then in the next thing it would be cocktail party, all the different camera angles. Next folder, it would be all the voxies, pre-dinner voxies. And so you go through and watch each, because you have to watch each camera angle. So say it's a 10-hour shoot day and there's 20 people, usually you watch about 13 versions of it.
A big coffee day.
Yeah, that's why it is very, very time consuming. All TV is extremely hard work. It's long hours. Our standard contracts are 50 to 60-hour weeks. There's no 38-hour contracts. That doesn't exist in TV. 50 hours is just standard. And if you work part-time, it's 40 hours.
You're right.
It's really crazy hours. And I think I've always obviously been used to it. It was the only job I did out of uni was at TV. So I'm sort of accustomed to these crazy hours. But I think that's also part of the shock to the system that happens with the maths contestants. They think it's like inhumane and all that stuff. But no, that is actually just TV. There's 14-hour shoot days. But it's just so foreign to them.
Yeah. How do you manage then that burnout?
The way I've managed it is I've really stepped away from TV in the last 2 years and gotten more into still in media and podcasting and that kind of thing. I was working with Southern Cross Stereo and Listener for a while. So just not TV as much. Yeah. I never say never, but I just think that it's also a dying platform, obviously. It's a young person's game. It really is.
If there was one particular reality TV show, any of them out currently, what would you want to work on just purely for the gossip? Because for me, it's like Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Get me on that show.
Oh, so you mean like a show that's existed?
Any.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Oh, good one.
Really?
That's the only one that could get me back out there, I reckon.
There's always something that'll
because that's like, real fame, right? That's real fame.
Yeah,
they are.
No, I don't know why. I don't know why.
Savvy.
I think they're horrible.
They're so business savvy. They're so clever.
Yeah. You've worked in the US before, haven't you?
No,
you haven't.
No, never. Intentionally, no. I've always known I never ever want to work in the US. I never want to go there.
Why is that?
Because I really have always had an intuitive feeling that Hollywood. And yeah, I've just never wanted to do it. Really, really never wanted to do it. I've always just wanted to be the biggest dog I can be in Australia.
Yeah. Just a question on the reality TV side of things. Do you think that, especially coming from maths, do you think it really changes your tolerance for drama in your own life?
Obviously, our subconscious is influenced by the media and content we consume. I found it was putting me in a really bad headspace watching this awfulness for 12 hours a day. And I found I was being more dramatic in my personal life. So it didn't diminish my tolerance. It actually seeped into me because it, triggered my nervous system in a lot of ways. And I was just burnt out and stressed just working in reality TV. I was just in fight or flight all the time and reacting. That's when I knew, hang on, I'm not even resting at night. I'm on edge because just the pressure, the stress, the competitiveness on top of watching the most unhealthy ever, being exhausted and stretching your brain to its extremities of creative and mental jigsawing. It sounds ridiculous. Out of all the jobs I've ever done, Maths and MasterChef post-producing was the most intellectually challenging job I've ever done. Like I thought I was smart, but it made me feel dumb. I got the hang of it eventually, but it's just working your brain in a completely different way. It's really hard to explain.
So I understand why maths would do that to your brain. Why MasterChef? Is it because of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't put into the show, or is it just
chefs are high-tempered at the best of times, right?
Yes, but it's more the actual physicality of having to create a story via audio. Like you're listening, and trying to write sentences and pull things together in an audio way rather than visual, because that's what post-producers do. The visual stuff is like a rough cut that a post-producer does, and an editor pictures it and makes it look really beautiful and puts all those sexy shots in and the music. But the post-producer is focused on every word that is said in the scene. So that we're like the script.
Script writer.
Yeah. It's pulled together, but it has the things that they're saying has to make sense.
God, audiobooks would be really difficult for you, wouldn't it? You'd be analyzing everything. You'd be like, oh, took a breath.
It's made me so attuned.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm good at podcasts now.
Yeah, got it. So what is the difference between reality TV and unscripted drama?
They're the same, aren't they?
Well, I don't know.
So unscripted drama is what they call it if they want to be more hoity-toity, but really, I think they're interchangeable.
Unscripted drama just seems a little bit more played up for me.
But it's the same thing. So maths would be either reality TV / unscripted drama.
Got it.
Right. Yeah. This year there was speculation that it was partially scripted, particularly for some of the guests at the wedding that were like mic'd up and had earpieces.
Did the guests had earpieces?
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd have some more inside goss.
Oh yeah,
they would on whether they kind of prompted him what to say.
Definitely. Not what to say, but to think about it. So the way I describe an on-set producer is like the most annoying shit stirrer at a party. So like, imagine there's a party, everybody's just having a good time, and then there's that one little gossip chaos gremlin who's going around stirring.
Kind of like Tyson at the last dinner party.
Yes.
Guys, everyone just listen for 2 seconds. Okay? Now, listen, I heard David didn't let Alyssa speak her final vows.
Oh, look at this soldier.
I just want to know why. It was good to stir it up. I'd say my piece, and I'd just sit back and watch. What's the reason behind that?
They're listening to what's actually going on, but then they're going and repeating it to someone else. Like, did you hear that? Blah, blah, blah. What do you think of that? Oh, well, I just heard that blah, blah, blah said this. That's what their job is. They're just like a little chaos gremlin at every event. So it's not scripted, but it's prompted and stirred up. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I heard they were saying this about you. What would you say in response to that?
Yeah. And that's how you get the best stuff, right?
I feel like that happened a lot is it The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? I think it was The Bachelor one year, and someone had come out and said they were offering them bags if they would say a certain thing, like, or an extra bonus.
That was like a couple
I'll
of
give
years
you
ago.
a bonus of $5,000 if you throw so-and-so under the bus, or you give us the details on this.
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe that. I was speaking to my friend the other day who's an editor, and he's been working in the industry a long time, and he said that they do get incentives. I've never heard that from anyone else, but it makes sense. So yeah, they're bribed.
I know.
Yeah. I didn't really know that because I haven't been on set with reality TV, so I only know what I hear.
Yeah.
And what I hear, right, is when they're doing their voxies, the before, the after, and then just when they're actually being filmed. But I don't know what goes on before they go into the room and turn the camera on.
How early in the process, when you're getting through it, do you know if storyline or a couple's going to carry an episode?
With posts, there's multiple versions of every story that exists. And sometimes you go down one pathway of building scenes around a particular narrative, and then you show it to execs and they're like, nah, that's a shit story. And then you have to go back to the drawing board and go down a different path. And in the same way that in any conversation, you can hone in on a different path and elevate anything. And so it's really just a matter of what is the most compelling. So in an ideal world, you'd choose the most compelling. Your instincts would be right, and you'd be like, look, this probably is going to resonate the most. Let's go down that path. But in terms of do you know, I think we get fed from Field. So they call it Field, which is the ones who are out there in the suites with them. They have their version of who they think the main characters.
Yeah.
And that gets fed down. We're post-producing while they're still in the
throws of
in the
it.
experiment. And so it's really up to what actually happens. You know, like Claire and Jesse, I'm not sure if you remember that. Do you remember that couple?
You know what? I've only watched the last 2 seasons because
Same.
Moira made me.
Oh, okay. So you're not even a maths fan. Fair
No,
enough.
we only started watching last season.
Oh,
and
fair
then we
enough.
were like, how the fuck does this get aired?
This season has been abhorrent. It's been awful. I'm a true believer in maths because before I was working on it, I watched it. Back in the day, it really had elements of an experiment. It really had interesting relational conversations and learnings and growth. It's been bastardized by the influencers and the psychopaths the last 3 years. But there was an era where it was a very fascinating experiment. I don't even think they refer to it as the experiment much anymore because it's just so far beyond that. Now it's really just trying to keep them in line and trying to get them to the finish line to finish this show. It was an experiment.
It was more about finding a match, finding someone who's compatible and working through what your typical things were that would put you off. And it's like, no, let's work through that. Like, let's push through it. You if you normally do that in a relationship, let's push through it because you guys are quite compatible.
It was like trying to make an arranged marriage work.
I said to Emma, this is literally like the human version of a cockfight. Throw them all in and then like fight to the death.
Yeah, it's like the Colosseum. And we're the spectators.
Yeah.
And then we get on the internet and we like want
I just couldn't do it. I love a bit of drama, but towards the end, I was trying to grab shorts and put them out rather than actually watch the show. I was like, okay, yeah, that's interesting.
Because it took us away from the crux of what Married at First Sight was meant to be about, which was about seeing ourselves in these people and seeing how they navigate relational issues and overcome things that you think wouldn't be possible to overcome, like someone saying a bad thing or not being attracted, and then weirdly it grows, you know. That was the crux of what it used to be, and now it was just a complete hijacking of just self-serving narcissistic narratives.
It does feel like the last 2 years, and we really looked into it last year to find out where these people came from. And it was like, oh, he used to be on this show, and this show, and she used to be doing that, and that. And they were all someone from something. They're all kind of there for clout and from this big booming influencer industry. Like, how do they pick the cast? Because I actually know a guy who was approached at a market on the Gold Coast, and they were like, oh, hey, I'm doing casting for MasterChef. Can you cook? He was like, no, not really. And she's like, oh, you guys have a really good look for TV. How about we set up a call? And I was like, so you don't even have to be talented for MasterChef? It's just the look.
They cast the net so wide these days, and the idea is, there does have to be a look like that. This TV is the most vain industry that's ever existed. That's not going to change in this capacity, particularly maths. They have to have an element of attractiveness.
Yes.
But I wouldn't even have said that half those girls, no offense, I find natural beautiful, not fake. And that, like, it's getting disgusting.
I know.
Are you calling the ladies disgusting, Emma?
But they're objectively
drawing attention.
Yeah, like they have nice bodies and nice hair, and they wear, like, I'm not going to comment on their looks. They're not my type either, but also we're not the target demo who's marrying them.
Yeah.
But the problem that shows like Married at First Sight are facing now is most normal people won't go on the show. So they might have some normal eligible people who'll be interested, and then as the process goes on, people just chicken out because of the risk that it genuinely is for their life and livelihood. And so they're stuck with these people.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about cluster B personalities. Let's get into that.
I'm not a psychologist, but I'm probably just as adept at psychology as the experts. So, I do believe that a lot of them have, in my opinion, cluster B personality traits, which basically refers to a cluster of borderline narcissism, histrionic personality disorders, which all are in a lack of self-awareness, a lack of self-reflection, drama-centered, lacking empathy, and lacking emotional regulation. Like they're kind of the general vibes. And so I think they either fall under that category or they're a little bit neurodivergent.
Neurodiverse.
Yeah. Which we could have actually at the start, not on camera, but we went through and pretty much picked who we thought was what and what personality trait because it was obvious.
It's obvious, right?
Yeah, yeah. What's the go with Endemol Shine? Do they do the casting?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you know what? I hated the fact that they ruined this year's Big Brother. I think they could have casted way better.
Yeah.
And in fact, Tamora and I.
Oh, we had a house. Kind of like the fantasy league, I guess, for guys in sports. We created our own house. None of them got in.
No.
So how do you put your personal feelings for someone aside to not let it affect, I guess, the edit?
Usually the ones that I've really not liked, I have been able to bury them because they've been the villains anyway. It's like you get a bit of sick satisfaction out of being like, well, I can see what you're behaving like and Australia's going to see it too, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get to meet you being in post-production or do you have nothing to do with them?
Nothing to do with them, but weirdly the universe has put them all on my path over the years and I've run into them all.
Really?
And like they don't know me, but I know them and it depends on who they are. I introduce myself. Yeah.
Well, they probably know you now because you're everywhere.
Oh, now they would know. But like now I have a better relationship with the cast than I used to.
Yeah.
Some of them are the more my favorites from my seasons. I talk to now.
Just quickly, throw this one in here. What was Hunted like to work on?
I loved Hunted, and it came at an interesting time because I was on MasterChef and Jock died.
I know. I couldn't watch that series after he died.
That was a really shit day to be on MasterChef. We got an email and it just was titled Jock Zonfrillo. And I thought he must have been nominated for an award or something. And like the email came through and read it. And like then just slowly you just hear all the doors of the edit suites and stuff open. It was just like, we all just walked down, was like, what?
Yeah.
And so a week after that, I got moved to Hunted. And so I was like, thank the Lord, because I do not want to be still on MasterChef right now. You said what was Hunted like? I guess it's just tainted by the fact that I was so relieved to be off MasterChef. And so I really liked that show. I think it didn't get renewed.
I loved it.
I loved it.
So what makes a good episode? So is it like ratings? Is it like social media reaction? Or is it something else?
Oh, it's so many different categories.
Yeah.
From a creative perspective, I feel like the executive producers are true believers and they just, if they love an episode, it's based on the episode itself and how the episode made them feel. But from a Channel 9 perspective, it would be based on ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Also the audience reaction, whether it trended, all that stuff would come into it. But, people that work for Endemol Shine care about ratings, but they would be more like the way it made you feel. They're very about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it quite competitive behind the scenes to get to be the person who got the really good episode that got everyone talking? Yeah.
Yes. It's extremely competitive, and your ranking is based on what number episode you're given. So like if you're a first episode post producer, you're the gun. But then if you're like a episode 10, you're like a newbie,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
The highest I got to was episode 2, just FYI. And then I floundered.
No.
No, I did because so it was a lot of pressure to do episode 2 weddings, and I did a tiny up 3 days out from a screening. The supervisor saw it, she went mental at me, yelled at me, and then from that point on my work quality just really diminished and I was really anxious because she yelled at me. I'm a bit more robust now, but it was a very stressful, high pressured environment. My nervous system was already shot. I was working really long hours, working really hard, and I'd been doing really well. And so for me to have not done one thing, which was I didn't put enough voxies in the lead up to the wedding. And there's still time to chuck them in. I just didn't, I was focusing on other things. And then my rough cut was watched by the supervisor 3 days out from a screening and she went mental.
But you probably thought, oh, it's just a rough cut.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I thought like she was going to watch it and let me know and I could just chuck some boxies in.
Yeah.
She's a really known psycho in Endemol Shine. Like really
Unstable seems to be their kind of hiring metric, doesn't it?
unfortunately the ones that stick it out and stay there for a long time. Yeah. They cast their net wide. That's what they do. They get the most talented people in the industry, then dull their shine and ruin them. But then there's plenty more people willing to take your seat.
So speaking of that, what are your thoughts on that after the dinner party? So it came across to me like the icebergs thing happened and it was too different to what we had seen in the last episode. So to me, it was like they panicked. They created this whole new show where they were like, let's double dip and selling out all the behind the scenes scandalous gossip to make our money from not only maths, but then make our money from this Stan thing. What do you think?
It definitely would have been a commercial objective. So Stan is owned by Channel 9. And Endemol Shine already has a relationship with Stan because they do Love Triangle.
Oh, we did that one.
It would have just been in the works for a long time because obviously broadcast is not making as much money as it used to. So they've been trying to get into streaming for ages. And what's their juggernaut? Married at First Sight. Well, it's obvious to have a sister show to it. What's the obvious thing that it's going to be? A conversation about it. They used to have that thing on actual Channel 9, which was discussing maths after the episode, which is kind of a natural progression, I feel. I don't think icebergs triggered it.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, why in the third week? Like, if you were going to release it, why would you not? I guess maybe is it because
of the weddings?
The weddings?
Nothing had happened at that point, and I didn't want to spoil it. It made sense that it would take 3 weeks because in the weddings, it takes 2 weeks for the weddings to air. And the whole point of the wedding is we all have to leave the wedding thinking this couple has hope. And so any kind of additional commentary, it's just too soon to start doing it.
Yeah.
I actually really didn't like it because they were spilling all the tea there. And it wasn't just a discussion about what was happening. It was almost a discussion about other things that had happened as well and behind the scenes and things like that. So you kind of knew then that this couple wasn't going to happen because of all the behind the scenes footage that they were showing. I didn't like it.
But they've realized that they can't keep the genie in the bottle because the spoilers have been happening and ruining the show for a decade. And so I think it's like if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
Right.
So who do you reckon ruined the season the most this year? Do you think it was the cast or would you think it was the media spoilers like Joshua Fox or Daily Mail who get that information but then also release it?
Yeah.
Well, all of them are in cahoots with each other. I think Daily Mail tries their best to keep sweet with Channel 9. I think there's like somewhat of an agreement that they need each other. And so like at the beginning of the season, Daily Mail already would know most of the spoilers, but I think they hold it back to kind of
go with the episode.
To try not to completely spoil it. But then also the Daily Mail is still very much based on money for clicks. So they have to get their clicks and they still want to be the first to release it. So it's just that balance, right? You got to remember all these media people, they're just people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. With the whole icebergs thing, Joshua Fox came out and I got that. I understood that he had to protect himself because of the whole alleged
Chris situation.
Yeah, Chris situation.
I'm sorry. I find him to be such an attention seeker, always trying to find a new way to insert himself into the narrative. Every year, he spawns a new version and it's like a COVID offshoot. Like he keeps on every year coming up with a new way. And that's genius because it's like great media clickbait. But I don't take it seriously.
But I don't know how people can trust him next season. Because he has
they don't care because they just want fame. Yeah. They don't care about the show. They care about their freaking 2 cents. They're cretins.
So do you think so it's interesting that if there was like an NDA or if it was we're going to sue you or fine you if you let things out, why would the cast be doing it?
Because Channel 9 and Endemol Shine aren't going to sue them all.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Why?
At some point, maybe they will, and that'll teach them all a lesson. I'm going to actually propose a way. I'm going to do a TikTok on this. I have a way that they can actually keep them in line. I have a way. I'm going to pitch it to them.
Okay. What do you think will be added to their contracts next year?
Well, this is my theory.
Okay.
I'm going to do it all.
Got it. I shall wait patiently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it should be switched up next year? So we can pretty much predict what's going to come. Like they're going to have the honeymoon, then they're going to have their swaps, organize people in order of what you think is most attractive. Do you think that they should be switching up the challenges? Like, do you think it's about time that they change it up?
I think they do talk about the structure every year because every year it's like, well, we know the question box is coming. They did mix it up a bit this year. So they gave some people the photo ranking challenge, other people the confession letter, and then they did add the partner swap, grass is greener exercise. So they did add some things. So I do think, they will come up with something, but there is something quite comforting about the repetitive nature of knowing, and then we get honeymoons, and then we get this, and then we get like all of that structure. I think the inherent structure will stay the same.
Yeah. So I just want to talk to you about something that was a bit controversial, and it was something that was mentioned throughout social media, and there was a conversation about how shows like Maths are stuck in a cycle, and people call out the toxic behavior, the misogyny, poor casting every year, but nothing really changes because the ratings are so high. So when you hear that, how does that make you feel as someone who's been a part of the show?
Oh, I feel fine. I did it for 2 years. It's like a small blip on on my entire career span. I was a fan and I was really intrigued to know how reality TV is really made. You know, like when you're watching Survivor, you're like, how real is this? And you're watching that. I was just intrigued to also learn that. And when I was offered the opportunity, as if I wouldn't, you know, and I did it for 2 seasons, nearly 3. They offered me the third, and I was like, no more of this. So I feel like I did the perfect amount of time to get a full understanding, 3 years solid, of all the shows and how it works without actually dirtying my soul, because I left and then I speak out about it. So I feel like out of anyone, I actually have the moral high ground, because at least I am the only person who's ever worked on the show who's putting my face to it.
Did you have an NDA for a certain amount of time after that?
People always ask me that. I'm sure I did.
Probably signed
They don't
some.
seem to give a shit anyway, do they? Because everyone's talking out.
I think that's the thing, though. I think that's what gathers the media attention. And I think that's actually what drives people to watch.
Yes. So last year they were more concerned. This year I think they trusted me, but last year they were like, "Oh my God, Alex Fennell's TikToks!" Like they were nervous last year and they were angry. I don't think it seemed like I was trying to come for the show and ruin the show. I was just adding an interesting voice, and I don't think it harmed the brand. I could talk probably more in depth about the problematic behaviors of the industry and Endemol Shine at large, but nobody really cares about the well-being of TV producers. Someone think of the reality TV producers?
I just feel like that would be just a constant negativity, constant arguing, constant backstabbing, constantly trying to one up the other. And
that's just in the production office.
Yeah. I just don't know how you do it. That's why I was asking about your burnout and things like that. And then how do you balance all that out? It's insane.
It was unhealthy. It was unhealthy. But the annoying thing is the actual art of watching a scene and pulling together the most compelling angle and like really building a story with like a beginning, middle, and end. The actual process of that is the best job I've ever done. I loved it, but it's everything else that came with it. And it wasn't the footage itself that was the worst part. It was the competitiveness behind the scenes and the toxic nature of the company that was actually the problem.
Is that why you left and decided not to go back into TV?
Yeah. It wasn't because of the idiots on the screen.
No. Well, you don't have to.
It was the puppet masters.
Well, that kind of like puts me at ease, because I cannot stand Endemol Shine as a company, as a production.
No, they're shot.
So that makes me feel good that my, moral compass. Yet they get all the contracts,
because they are really good at producing reality TV. They are like those executive producers and senior people. Really smart and creative and talented.
What's a show that you think that they haven't gone into that they should? I work in recruitment, and dear God, should they get into like a behind the scenes reality TV based on recruiters?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they want to bastardize everything, don't they? Aren't they just releasing an OnlyFans one?
Oh, I saw that.
I haven't.
More Shine though. It's definitely on Stan, but I don't know if it's Endemol Shine.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I
So
was
they're
like,
all,
whoa.
yeah.
I'm kind of intrigued though. I'm kind of
I
intrigued
want to
into
watch
that
that.
business.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Endemol Shine, because it is actually a global, it's part of Banijay, which is like a global production company.
Mhm.
They often just buy licenses of existing reality TV shows. So
Yeah.
I think Married at First Sight isn't even an Australian concept. It was bought, I think,
Sweden?
Swedish or
Yeah.
Norwegian or something.
Yeah.
But we bastardized it, of course, and now our one is the most popular.
Yeah, because it's so scandalous.
It is.
So full on.
Whatever
That's
pulls
what I
the
said.
people
Aussies
in.
are just over the top, aren't we?
Yeah,
Mm.
apparently the German one or the Danish one is like really earnest and they take it like really seriously, which is
Yeah.
what we want. That's what it was
nice
meant to
though.
be.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Mama Wants a Wife because of that, right?
Yes, exactly. I don't know why Luke didn't just end up on Farmer Wants a Wife. Why?
Oh, we have a theory. We have a
What?
theory. We reckon he applied for Farmer Wants a Wife and ended up on Endemol Shine's.
Yeah,
Maths.
100%.
Yes, because if you're a recruiter, you're actually quite similar to the way casting producers work. They're not assigned to a production company. They're freelancers and they have their own database. And so like one recruiter might be working on Farmer Wants a Wife for Warner, gets him, he doesn't get cast. They're like, then they get moved to a contract for casting with Maps. They're like, I got this guy, bam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's possible. But why wouldn't he have gotten on Farmer Wants a Wife?
Because it's not a
Well,
proper farm.
Yeah.
It's a hobby
It's a
farm,
hobby
isn't it?
farm.
Oh, does it actually have to be like a real true farm?
I think so. Because
Surely.
otherwise, what are they filming?
I reckon though, give it like what he has to have a year or two between his next show, does he?
Yeah.
With his
Well,
NBA.
it
I reckon
depends.
he'll be on Farmer Wants a Wife or The Bachelor.
I don't know if The Bachelor.
Nah, I think he's pulling views for
Not
The
good looking
Bachelor.
enough.
Nah.
He's not Bachelor level. He can't hold a show.
Who do you reckon would be a good Bachelor?
I know.
Yeah.
No maths people. No maths people.
No.
Would
you ever write or produce your own show?
Yeah, oh God, yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be hard to get it made. I'm writing a book, which I'm hoping can get published.
Mhm.
And then I'm hoping that could maybe turn into something. But I've always got lots of ideas in development.
Are you writing a book by yourself or with ChatGPT?
By myself? God, no. ChatGPT is so different to my writing style. My writing style is very
Yes, I love your writing style.
Oh, have you read some of my blog?
Well, the funnelism.
Oh yeah, that's my writing style. It's just
That's where I read about the Hanson thing. Look, before we get into kicking everything off, I have had the most wonderful time Googling you and all the things that come up. And I actually found out something pretty interesting. You and Emma actually have been in love with the same person.
Taylor Hanson.
Oh my gosh, really?
True.
I didn't tell her. I was like, I have to get the reaction. And I was like, in fact, you've been in love with the same 3 people.
Oh, you love Hanson.
You ever met them?
Too. Oh, yeah, like 15 times.
What?
Yeah,
How do we end this interview, Moira?
You have to go and read the funnelism.
Oh,
It's called I Cheated on My Boyfriend with Hanson. But it's basically I was dating this psychopathic musician in my 20s. And he was really jealous of my love for Hanson. And so I had to pretend and hide it that I was in love and like going to the concerts and stuff. It was really fun, but it was funny. In hindsight, it was funny.
I love that. I love
At the time,
you.
it wasn't. At the time, he really dragged me into the drama and made me feel like genuinely guilty. I had to hide my Hanson CDs and stuff. It was crazy.
That was
Really?
preparing you for the drama that was to come for Endemol Shine. That was
Yeah.
really setting you up.
Everything leads up. Everything
My
has
whole
purpose.
life really does just weirdly like lock into place. It's all just
It's all meant to be.
Very weird like that. I've been very protected in that way.
So here's the thing, right? And we can, tag you in it or whatever. We applied for travel guides. Now explain to me, after having sat with us, why we didn't get on travel guides. Is it because we talk shit about Endemol Shine all the time?
I
We
think
do.
because you've got 3 kids. I think
Do
it would make
you-
it too difficult for production to deal
For
with.
sure.
Who ended up getting it? Who ended up getting it?
No
Because me
idea.
and
Some
Geordie were going
people
to
that have
apply
been on
too.
shows before.
You should.
We were going to
apply.
apply, but they said that you can't have a following. But then they
We
ended up
don't have a
getting.
following.
No, but Geordie and I do, and we didn't do it because you couldn't have a following. But also, they ended up hiring people who are influencers.
Yeah.
That's
So why?
bullshit.
Yeah, you guys would be great. You guys would also be good on Gogglebox.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
Love that show.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't think of any reason other than the practicalities of literally they don't want to deal with that. Like they don't want. I bet none of them have kids.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
It's
They don't
true.
want to deal with that. Like your kid gets sick and then what? You can't go to Paris. They're not
Fuck, I'm
gonna.
going to Paris. The kids will
Yeah.
be fine.
It's like sometimes it's as practical and ruthless
Yeah.
as that. They're just like, we cannot be dealing with these women. And like the thing is, the TV industry is really about that when it comes to women. It's like, do we want to hire a producer that age
Yeah.
because she's got kids?
And
The
that's
show
the
must go
issue.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a man, and that's like, I'm not a feminist at all,
Mm.
but for a man, they'd be like, oh, that's okay. The mother will look after the kids and he can go off and do whatever.
Mhm.
No, off.
Exactly.
Oh, I have a really great question I've been dying to ask you since the
Okay.
start. Tell me everything about your psychic tarot reading stuff.
Oh, see, that's just you've opened up like a whole other.
I'm sorry, but I'm like, I love this.
Okay,
Like-
so I have always been psychic my whole life. I actually attribute a lot of my success professionally to knowing exactly how to read the energy because I have had quite a particularly good career. And
Yeah.
as talented as I am, it's really been a lot about luck and knowing the right people and timing to take jumps. And that has been very much a part of my being an intuitive and being psychic, right? I've just always had a voice that said, do this now, speak to this person, go there. That's just like worked, right?
Yeah.
So I've always had that. And it's only in the last few years that I really learnt tarot. And then I was thrown in the deep end a couple of years ago, just doing readings for strangers. I mean, I've always had readings for people and it's just been ridiculous, but it just really blew my mind how much information I was able to bring through specific information,
Wow.
names, all those things. And I was like, shit, like this is real. I need to actually take this seriously and nurture it. And so I've taken it seriously and nurtured it. And it's just become quite popular. So when I do tarot readings, I'm tapping into your guides, my guides, and they're chatting, but it's more than just future predicting. It's like where you're at, where your blockages are, what you need to manifest sort of a better path and how to get to your highest timeline. And it's all in the mind. I've just been doing it. And now I pretty much mainly do that as well as freelance stuff.
Wow.
I find that it's just a better use of my time to actually sit there and help people. I consider myself more like a spiritual counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's the feeling of giving back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you best to do that in person so
I
that
do
you
it all,
can
I do
tell
it
people?
online. I do it all, a lot of it online. So I work 2 days a week in a like a healing space in Melbourne, in Malvern, and then I do online readings the rest of the time. I can connect it just as well in line. There's this advertising agency that loves me, and I do corporate wellbeing sessions for them all.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like
I love that.
yeah,
That's
so I do
awesome.
hens parties and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it just feels like really there's a lot going on in the world as well, and people really need support and healing in this like really time.
Oh my God, I love that. All right, Alex, thank you so much for being so open and giving us a real behind the scenes look at an industry that so many of us are completely obsessed with, but rarely get to understand. If you guys love this chat, please make sure you go and follow Alex. Check out her Substack, Confessions of an Ex-MAFS Producer, for all the insider tea. And of course, listen to Showbiz Baby with Geordie Lucas. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and share this with your friends who still think reality TV is real. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.